Off and on the clock Fridays. You guys punch out of work and hop on the clock with us. It's myself in the Badge Bros. We're going to walk through this week 4 DFS slate from an underdog perspective. We will let you guys know our favorite games. We'll take a look at the ADPs, of course, our favorite scroll down gems. And then we will hop in the Deposit Kingdom Weekly League, which will drop here at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk some small field tournament strategy. Then we'll hop in some Dawg Bowls, talk 12-person draft strategy. And of course, always wrap up with a little spiciness in the Pick'em lobby. We hit on our core last week. We'll see if we can keep the good times rolling. We don't have my little music buffer here for this show, so we're rolling right into it. John, Nez, and Nez is dressed up like Mickey Mouse here.
Oh, this is just like what I was going to wear today for the show, because, fellas, we got ourselves a Mickey Mouse slate this week. I don't know how you guys feel about what's going on. This is wacky tobacco out here in these streets, man. Let me tell you, there is just who knows what's going on in week 4. Does anybody know what's happening?
Wow.
No.
I thought when I saw the hat, so Nez kind of prepped us that he had a bit he was going to do. Then when you put it on, I was like, oh, is this like you're saying you're going to Disneyland? Like, I'm going to win a tournament this week and then go to Disneyland. But no, it was the play on Mickey Mouse. Like,
it could have been both. It's double entendre, because I am trying to go to Dallas to, where I already am this week for sure. But we'll get into that. But yeah, I had to pull out the Mickey ears. They've been sitting in this office. I'm like, how am I going to incorporate these into the show one day? And I mean, there was just no better opportunity than this slate.
My favorite, my prop related story. So, I did the Best Ball Bros video and I had the doctor character. So I had ordered that stethoscope, and, it's like every time you order one of these props that you're going to use as a one-off and you're like, what, this is such a dumb purchase. But then, so April is so into like doctor stuff right now. When she's reading a book, she's like doctor and like taking care of the animals. So I went and brought the stethoscope up for her from the prop, and it's now her favorite toy. So we actually got a second wind on the stethoscope prop because April loves it now.
Nez, you're going to be pushing into that territory soon here. The baby's first hat is the Mickey Mouse ears. There you go.
Yeah, excited for all these future endeavors on my own. We got the gender reveal coming Monday, by the way, fellas.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
Yeah, that'll be
what are you guys doing? I mean, content gender reveals, the pressure is high.
Pressure is super high. We record Brie and I've been doing podcasts with Brie now. She's like got me on the show, and her fans and followers really enjoy me. So she's like kind of pissed about it, but so now I'm like a mainstay. So we did a gender reveal episode last week, so we're gonna put it out on Monday. And so I think it's going to be mostly like through that. She has a short form post for IG and TikTok and stuff. But yeah, it'll be on the podcast, and then I'll announce it for everybody on the Bad Bros on Monday.
Nice.
Beautiful.
That's quite the cultivated like endeavor just to announce your baby. Like, she's planned it a week in advance. Like, that's the content life, huh?
Yeah, this little shit, man. They are they've got us working, but it's good. It's good.
I think that how they'll generally do like the stereotypical whatever color thing, pink for a girl, blue, and like they do the things where some guy's like a hunter, and so he like blows something up and then the color comes out. I feel like for you, it would be in the underdog lobby, and you're like deciding between like a purple quarterback or a blue tight end, and it's like which one at the onesies, and then Nez puts like just filters all to purple to reveal the girl. Something like that could work.
That's actually genius. We might have to take that into the workshop.
the first ever BR gender reveal. You could
shit.
be that.
Yeah, just lead fully into it.
All right, we do have a pretty big bombshell here on a Friday afternoon. Davante Adams not going to play, guys. I know he had the hamstring thing. Didn't think it was going to be that bad. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there speaks to your Mickey Mouse slate, Nez. The slate's all over the place with the Q tags and the shifting values with the practice stuff all throughout the week there. Adams, I was taking in like the 5th round there, and I thought it was Gen Wealth opportunity there, and I was kind of heavy fading Bowers at his ADP, so that one didn't go in my favor there.
The Davante hamstring, I'm gonna call shenanigans on that. There's no way that's not a change of scenery pain in that hammy right now. Don't you think? Like how far are we away from like get me the hell out of here? Like tired of getting thrown medicine balls from, Jimmy G, now Minshew. He's not dealing with the AOC shit. That team is a sinking ship right now. He wants out. So talk soon.
Okay. All right. Nez giving us the why is that here today. Let's talk. Let's hit the slate overview. Nez mentioned it at the top. Mickey Mouse slate, tons of injury stuff. I have a feeling this won't even be the last injury bomb of the show today here. So I guess before we get into specific ADP stuff, is there any kind of general stuff you guys want to talk about as far as injuries, Q tags? Nez, I saw you had a teaser post that even got me excited for the show, and I'm on it. You were like, you were going to drop some bombs today. So is this a good time for it?
I just think, the evergreen topic or just the topic of injuries on these slates, I think is evergreen. And to me, like, I'm not the type of person that's worried about ruining their edge. I think that's like the biggest edge on Underdog is knowing how to navigate injuries and Q tags in every sport, in literally every sport.
Yeah.
And this week, man, in the Dawg Bowls, in the 6th round, you have Debo, you have Kittle, you have AJ Brown, all these guys going in the 6th round, like Stephon Diggs in the 3rd round before the Tank Dell news came out. There was just so many opportunities to take advantage of this ambiguity. And I'm not saying that it's like a guaranteed smash that Debo is going to like put up an awesome score and you had to have him in the 6th round or any of these guys, but that is the way you kind of maximize your edge in these contests. We talked about it last week a little bit. It's like having a like short time box discount on redacted to draft some of these guys, because AJ Brown now is going in the 3rd round in Dawg Bowls. Debo Samuel is going in the 4th round now in Dawg Bowls. You can't get those guys when you could get them before. So there's just a lot of very, very interesting angles this week, and things are still evolving, right? So I just think that this is something that if you're playing battle royales and starting to take them seriously, you need to start drafting earlier in the week, and you need to start, leaning into the ambiguity with some of these injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk about the pivot off of that because like I see both sides of the coin now. I think there's a very intelligent way to play now after having known that, and just knowing the landscape is to not ape into those patterns that other people were falling into with those. So like, even if you think AJ Brown's like the best play on the slate, don't chase him up a board right now. If you're just hopping in for the first time this week, like you have to look for the leverage pivots off of it now. So I think maybe like, yeah, hopping in, drafting throughout the entirety of the window is optimal, in my opinion. I fully agree with you there, Nez, but I wouldn't use it as a deterrent for people to be scared off. I would be like, okay, now find your pivots off of that. So we know that Nez has, whatever, 25, 50, 100 Dawg Bowls done right now, and he's got 6th round AJ Brown wrapped up. Well, yeah, that's a smash on paper, but football has a lot of variance in it. Let's find a way to pivot off of that. Don't chase that up the board and play into worse projecting combos. Just find a different way to get there.
Yeah. And I think that's always kind of how I viewed it too. Like if you're drafting super early, and it's the same with the best ball mania thing we talked about, right? Where it's like there's benefits to each way, and you need to attack that benefit depending on when you're drafting. Just the way my schedule unfolds and stuff, I end up doing a lot of later drafting. So I kind of let the dust settle and then see like, oh, what can I exploit? What do I think is like inefficient? It means I'm not going to have a lot of good closing line value teams. That's just kind of like a necessity for my schedule. But I do think it's like, no matter when you're drafting, think about what is my particular edge at this moment and how do I press that?
Yeah. Like I think closing line value in hoops in particular, because like scores are more transferable, is like the nuts. And sometimes there are slates that you should just sit out. I feel very differently in football. I think I would rather have like the bags like right now with AJ Brown in the 6th round. Absolutely. But I think you can find other ways to play off it and play around it if you just know that that exists as well. Right.
100%. Definitely not trying to deter anybody from playing.
No,
I'm just saying, from my standpoint, the portfolios I'm trying to construct is like in very specific instances in time, and knowing that I'm going to be drafting up all the way until Sunday, that's going to change every single day.
Yeah. And I think it is good to highlight the differences of what you're gaining with that, let's call it the Q tag game in the 12 persons versus the 6 persons, because I think the windfall you're getting in the 12 person is ginormous. Like some of those players you just said that are first round players that you could get in the 6th round, whereas it's a little bit more offset or I guess mitigated in the 6 mans where it's like you're still getting really, really good projected players in rounds 5 and 6 where maybe the replacement value isn't as massive. Whereas like you're getting Debo instead of Yoshivas in the 6th round of a Dawg Bowl. Like that is a big selling point to me of like, if I were trying to chase early closing line value or mispriced stuff, I would want to tilt it toward the 12-man drafts early in the week versus like trying to exploit it in the 6 persons.
Yeah, very, very well said. And that is really true too with the 6 persons is, you can lean into this even heavier in the 6 person drafts. Cause like you said, the swap options, if that doesn't work out for you, are just like very, very solid. Now you might have a more concentrated portfolio unless you like have rankings set up in a certain fashion. But the risk reward is, it's a lot more tolerable in the 6 persons.
Yeah, it's interesting that you and I on the same week with the same information, damn near equally tapped in, Nez, had completely opposite approaches to the week. I backdated like almost all my stuff. I'm just refreshing right now. I've done 15 Dawg Bowls and I've done 47 other drafts. That's low for me at this point in time of the week, and it was because I didn't want to play the chase Q tag game and then just be super concentrated. I just wanted to be a little lower volume this week, more contrarian. Like I just looked at the slate as a whole and I was like, okay, I'm going to let the dust settle and then find my path. So it's very interesting to like see the same slate with one another and us be on total opposite sides of the spectrum with that.
Yeah. Good transition point. Good segue, I think.
Speaking of segue, thank you, Tyler. Here, slate has been flipped on its head with the injury onslaught. Let's head over here and maybe John, you could pull up the ADP board. I feel like this is a good spot for us to start looking at the BR slate from an ADP perspective. Just from doing some drafts yesterday and today, I feel like very strong running back slate at the top, wide open tight end slate. Definitely kind of concentrated with QB, some like really strong plays, and then kind of the Wild West. Any other kind of, I don't know, macro trends or patterns you guys have noticed with your drafting so far?
I was in agreement there with you. In the 6 persons, I find I want some of those upper echelon receivers, and then I want to scroll at running back. In the 12 persons, I kind of flip that notion and want some of these stronger projectable running back plays at the top, and then I'm comfortable going scrolling. So for me, it's been game and slate size specific, or players rather, drafters size specific, with kind of like how I've been approaching it. But yeah, that kind of my macro. How about you, Nez?
Yeah, early in the week, I was really trying to get like mega CLV in the Wildcat. So I probably had like 90 drafts done before projections came out. Doing a ton of autoing in those, but like trying to, chasing the Jaden Daniels stuff before, like it was like, because that was a Monday night game, right? And so that contest was out, seeing that happening, like, all right, the breakout's here. Let's go, let's jam. So I did a ton of Jaden Daniels stacks in there, and just like trying to chase CLV, and might be getting lucky with some Brock Bowers in there. But I agree. I think that playing 6 person versus 12 person like really changes up the strategy. In 6 person drafts, I do think that, getting these elite wide receivers is probably the move. It's how I feel best personally about my teams. But in 12 person drafts, like if I'm in the front end, which I haven't really been a lot, I've been living in the 12 hole like all week. Kind of hate it, because when you're at 12, the top of your queue is ADP 15. It's like, what happened? Why am I at ADP 15? It goes 11 to 15 to show you how stark that cutoff is. It's absurd. Oh my god, dude, I hate it. I'm having fun with it. But yeah. So I think 6 person wide receiver, 12 person running back. But some of these running back values in 12 persons are pretty nice in the 4th.
I've noticed, maybe you guys feel differently. For me, there's like a pretty big wide receiver cliff, and like you'll actually see it by ADP too. Like it'll be Godwin at the top, and then just like a pile of like running backs, quarterbacks, and tight ends. And I don't even feel comfy with the Godwin click there. So it's like after Nico, man, It's the goddamn Wild West for me at wide receiver.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I kind of feel that way about every position, and it's because what Nez is alluding to with the quarterback stuff is like Kyler opened as quarterback 5, 4, something like that. Jaden Daniels opened as quarterback 9, and now they're all the way up like this. So I know that combos in some of these contests that have been open the entirety of the week have them as like 6 rounds and that sort of thing. So for me, like I have this really concentrated top end of draft board pool that is kind of like 10. It kind of stops at Jordan Mason and Alvin Kamara there, kind of that exact cutoff that you were talking about there. And then I just scroll and pivot quarterbacks and whatever, and I just do goofy shit that nobody else is going to be doing because I know I can't. I know I can't. Yeah,
or goofy shit. Okay.
Goofy shit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know I can't beat on paper the projectable lineups that were created with 6th round Kyler and 6th round Daniels there. I got to click this one. Oh, I don't have clicking privileges.
Can I push back on that though a little bit?
Yeah.
I just think like I agree. Like to me, the edge. So we just said there's like a top 10 guys up there, right? So like if you really think about what you're competing against, the Kyler and Jade and stuff, 6th round, you're talking about like your 3rd round pick versus their 6th round, and it's just like we can go through those 2v2s. Where it's like, okay, I have Stroud as my 6th round, and then versus there, like, I don't know. I just don't think you have it in that bad against those 2v2s. Even now, it's a different story. I think if someone like screamed up all the way to like a 1st round pick, and then it's like, all right, I'm not taking Kyler in the 1st because the opportunity cost of like what they were able to do. But I don't know. I'm not like worried about. I'm not drafting Daniels and Kyler because of that, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. That checks out.
I agree.
Sorry, Nez, go ahead. I just wanted to hit on 2 things here. Best Ball Viper, I can't bring it up because Pete's in charge.
Let me pull it up.
Thank you. Yeah, Best Ball Viper gifted out 5 Badge Bros memberships. Much appreciation to you, bro. Saw you had a good primetime Palooza there. Congratulations. Thank you for that. And then everybody's talking about the new overlays. We kind of glossed over that at the beginning. The new look that Pete has assembled here. Yeah, this is top tier. This looks great, Pete.
Yeah, we're trying to bring the battle royales to the people, so we got to up our game around here. Shout out to my guy Chris. He's been helping me with some of these overlays. He's also who edits the Deposit Kingdom battle royale video, so he's taking care of us on the aesthetics side here. What are you guys doing at tight end this week? I mean, it is wild.
I mean, right now it's looking like Brock Bowers City, right? Like, how is he not about to just like fly up boards with Michael Mayer out, with Devontae Adams out? It's going to be hard for him not to. I think maybe just the matchup itself looking bad might like kind of keep him suppressed. And the fact that tight end hasn't mattered really yet could be, kind of keeping him suppressed. But I think he's definitely going to be pushing up. I've been waiting quite a bit, and honestly, like, I just give me all the Cole Kmet, give me all the Dalton Schultz. That is like where I am living right now. I feel so good about just like letting other people prioritize like Dallas Goedert. I get it, but like I'd rather wait because you have to take Dallas Goedert really early, and you can get Schultz and Kmet and like pick 60 plus, or in a 6-person draft undrafted a lot of the time. Love those 2.
Yeah, I like the Schultz call better than the Kmet one. The Kmet one really scares me with Keenan Allen coming back. I think a lot of that usage is just going to funnel his way instead of Kmet's way. But I like the Schultz one as potential leverage off Tank Dell being out and some of those higher pieces that go. I was scrolling the F down to Taysom Hill again, full participant in practice yesterday, and just gives you that potential ceiling that, I don't know, maybe nobody else gets. I get he's a 34-year-old quarterback / running back / tight end, whatever. But with the Alvin Kamara Q tag and the way they've been utilizing tight ends with all the motion stuff, he seems like he's the best fit for that job. And if he's back this week, I kind of like it.
We're also going to find out on this slate just how influential ETR ranks actually are based on Elijah Higgins' closing line ADP, because ETR has him as tight end 5.
Yeah.
Do we think he cracks top 8 at ADP by lock? Like what's going to win out here the anchored ADP or the rankings, bros?
Yeah, I think now that you got McBride officially ruled out, I think he's going to push for sure. He's definitely going to jump this Conklin and Gesicki tier. I think he'll be kind of flirting with Ertz and Schultz by the time it's done. So
Our Dawg Bowl bros, Kyler Dawg Bowl bros taking Elijah Higgins last round.
I only saw it once.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
It was like I was like queuing up, getting ready like for the 6th round, and he was already gone. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you guys are
fucking kidding me." Yeah. Fine, I guess I'll take Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
I think I opted for like Schultz instead. I was like, "All right, fine, okay, that works."
I don't want to. Yeah, I won't spoiler the video that'll come out on the Deposit Kingdom after this, but Schultz is my favorite play on the entire slate, regardless of position.
Nice.
He has started to inch up from even when I recorded the video. But he strikes me as a smash. Game environment, ADP, leverage, like he checks every box for me this week.
100%.
Nice. Any concern from you guys with that game environment that they would go run heavy, like Mixon back at practice today? I don't know if he ends up playing or whatever, but they have one of the more favorable both sides of the ball, D-line versus O-line and O-line versus D-line. Is there any, nothing worked for them last week? Do they go back and they just go, hey, we're going to go pass rate over expectation that is like 20th in the league, and we're going to just pound the hell out of it?
I just think that environment allows them to be like really efficient, even if the volume isn't insane.
Gotcha.
Jags look lifeless. They just look horrible. But like the glimmer of hope with that too, John, is like they still take a lot of deep shots, like they look awful. But there's still a chance that like they can make this a very exciting game. And I hope they do, because if the Jags can kind of click offensively with the way that their defense looks right now, and all the man that they play, this could be like a have to have it type game.
Okay.
We just you probably need the Jags to not be incompetent, but I think that they can be efficient enough that that like middle of the pack volume is like all you need.
Yeah, I do think it's a slight concern with the Jags, but the one thing, what I did see Mixon being back, but the report I saw that he still was looking shaky to play. And I mean, with as inefficient as Akers looked last week, man, you got to think I think they're going to have success however they want it. But yeah, I agree with you guys. I think this game could be really interesting. I think ETN is in play. As a scroll down guy. Mm-hmm. I think, JM was kind of selling me a little bit on either Kirk or Brian Thomas as potential plays, especially if you want to play this as like, hey, the Texans have to get pushed to get a nutty score. Like it does feel like a mini correlation bring back type spot in like specifically in the 12 mans. Like I wouldn't mind building out like a Stroud double with a Jags piece.
Yeah, I've done the ETN thing a couple times there. I thought the usage was very encouraging. He was still in the ball game. He mushed the shit out of our core pick'em from Monday there. He was still in the ball game with like 4 minutes left. He didn't look great outside of that 22-yard run that killed us. But Gabe Davis banged up last week and then limited this week. And then Evan Ingram already ruled out. So like if we get this one slightly more concentrated than we're accustomed to in the first couple of weeks there, that's bullish too, just for going to that game. I
like that. Should we do while we're here, maybe hit some of these scroll the F down gems we just mentioned? ETN. I'll say I mentioned one of mine, obviously Schultz. Nez, you got any STFDs for us here? Why does that sound so dirty when I say it?
We're dating, that F is doing a lot of work there. So I mean, I'm gonna like not mention the Q tags here because I think those are really obvious. We're 40% full in the BR, and a lot of these Giga Q tags are going to have not been drafted quite a bit. So it's a cheat code. Good.
Yeah, I just want to ask you guys on the Q tag, maybe even just before some targets there. Like, are you guys not taking like Goddard tight end 1 because you guys think AJ Brown might play or Devonta Smith might play, and then like can we just do like a leans ins and out? Like I have Kittle in, I have Debo out, I have AJ Brown the closest to being in. I have Smith out with the writing on the wall based on the McBride situation. That's like my leans right now. So I was playing a lot of Kittle as like kind of like my back end tight end. But yeah, I just want to ask you guys, like,
Well, I think if you have Kittle in, like, why would you take Goddard where you have to take him?
I don't, but I'm asking.
Oh, I thought you were kind of like painting a picture for Goddard.
No, I was just painting a picture of like all the impacts that the Qs would have.
I think for their current costs and 6-person drafts, like, I just think you should just think everybody that's a limited practice participant is playing, because you can get them in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, John, my leans are just Kittle being the only one of those really that plays. Still not really seeing it for the Eagles wide receivers. I think Debo will be close, but not going to force it. That's just kind of my read.
Yeah, I kind of feel similarly. The only one I leave the light on for is AJ Brown right now, just because they're so decimated. Nez pointed out the Instalytics tweet early in the week there, back at practice today, but they do have the bye week after this, so they could just sit them, because like that's the biggest thing for, like, because Saquon as RB1 and Goddard for tight end 1 are bad if like both those guys played. You know what I mean? Like if AJ Brown and Smith played, but if they're out, I think it's, I guess, fine.
Yeah. The Kittle, it does really stand out as kind of the way to play it. Like how you have it in there, like you take Kittle as much as possible and then you swap it to a Schultz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty easy game from the tight end position, I think. I mean, you don't have to get overweight Kittle, but he's such a good click right now.
I would say if he's if he's in, it's really good for Jordan Mason too.
You think so?
Yeah, he's like the best blocking tight end in football. Like it's so plus EV for Jordan Mason. Like his one down game was without him there.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably good just for the overall offense. The way even JM was, I think JM had a similar take where he's like wants Kittle in and then gets more excited that one of those 3 then will have a monster game. Yeah. Whereas you could see the Patriots, just the way they've historically liked to play, limited offenses with the double teams. And maybe they don't do that though, because they're like, maybe Juwan Johnson shouldn't score 3 touchdowns on us.
Yeah. So the scroll down targets.
Yeah.
Where I was getting to was very much into the Chicago Bears this week, and all of their pass catchers. DJ Moore's not a scroll down pick, but we've got Roma Dunze, full participant. He's going to go. Keenan Allen, I believe he's going
to go full practice today.
Yeah. So Keenan Allen being in, I think, is a really big deal. He was like tied for DJ Moore with first read targets whenever he was playing. Now Shane Waldron kind of apologized to the team this week and said I'm sorry that I was calling such bad plays. So that can't be negative for the Bears, right? That's a real thing. That's a story that was reported by Adam
That's
Schefter.
Hilarious. I didn't hear that.
Yeah. He put plays that he was apologizing for on the board of the team. So that's great. You tell me that's not wheels up for the Bears. Do your homework, buddy.
He sounds like Davis is a DFS tout on a Monday. Yeah. There's everything I'm apologizing for last
So, and I really like Kmet, man. I know that he has all these weapons back, and yeah, that's kind of scary, but the Gerald Everett shit is over. They did that week 1. He got yelled at. It's no longer been a thing. Cole Kmet, tight end is so bad right now. Cole Kmet got 11 targets last week and looked good, like Cole Kmet has looked in the past. Who would have thought? Play Cole Kmet over Gerald Everett and you're going to see better production. And the Rams matchup for Caleb is awesome. People still think the Bears suck. I mean, guys, if you're going to go by the numbers, their offensive line actually hasn't even been as bad as we think. I don't agree with those numbers, but that's what the analytics say. Now you have Shane Waldron realizing, okay, maybe we shouldn't run 4 verts and I should give Caleb some easier targets. I think everything is just coming up Chicago Bears right now. Really, really want Caleb plus, name a pass catcher this week.
Cool.
Man,
yeah, I like it.
I'm very aligned with you on that stuff. I mean, Keenan Allen had 11 targets week 1. This lines up so well. Caleb threw 63 yards last week. I'll give you a little spoiler. I mean, his number in the pick'em lobby is like 235. I want to say this Rams defense just got lit up by Brock Purdy with all of his weapons on ice. So I'm with you here. I'm very excited. Caleb, I believe, was like QB 11 when I checked. Again, another spoiler. He's going to make a feature in the DK video. But yeah, I'm fully aligned here. Love this spot for the Bears.
Yeah, I think there's two things. I think they realized that they can't run last week, and maybe they're now just going to fully scrap that notion. I will say last week's stuff is artificially inflated with like the 50 whatever attempts to get him to the 360 passing yards, but like such is like the script and stuff. I've done the backstack a couple times. I've done it with Keenan Allen. I think I like Keenan Allen a little bit more than Rome this week. The way the matchup sets up and then like the discount that we get in the 12-person stuff. But I think DJ Moore's obviously just like my favorite of the bunch there. And that's the nice thing about it, right? Like if DJ Moore is in play because like if you stack, then you're getting Caleb, who's barely getting drafted, or you can get the double whammy and do Caleb Keenan.
Totally can.
Yeah,
very much into that spot. The one thing I will say is like Rome has been, I mean, like he had so many deep targets, like you said, is a little bit of a game script factor there. But if you are trying to like maybe hit a home run, Rome right now drafted more than Keenan, like probably by like a very insignificant number. But if you are trying to hit the home run, I think Rome is your bet. If you are trying to play the best plays, I would go Keenan over Rome.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Let's see, running back scroll downs here. This one, there's definitely like 4 or 5 good ones, but then like the super deep pool continues to shrink. Like you get to like Bucky Irving territory, like where it's just like way too thin in the 6-mans pretty quickly.
Yeah, I fully agree there. Like I've held true on some of my stuff from early in the week, and now they're starting to push up. That I was big B-Rob. I like the Zach Moss split stuff, and I like the Chuba stuff, and then Najee. They're kind of like the RB dead zone is literally our thumbnail today, so that's kind of what I was enjoying clicking there of the scroll variety. But I do agree with you; it does fall off a cliff after this. I think Carson Steele is maybe a little sneaky.
Ooh, that's a John special right there.
I agree, man.
Okay,
I really agree.
Like I think they could just really control that ball game. Like Chargers are going to be missing Palmer, Herbert, and 2 offensive linemen. Their best 2 offensive linemen. So I think like. It's going to be hard. People in the chat were saying like it's Kelsey week, and it's like I just think it's going to be hard to push game environment for Kansas City, and that kind of leads me to Carson Steele just grinding some clock or punching a couple in at the goal line kind of thing. I don't really see that game environment popping off, so I'm kind of like pretty off the KC stuff. So then to get to it via Carson Steele feels like a good leverage play.
Yeah, I just think it sets up really well too. Like KC, very strong defense. You have a hobbled Justin Herbert. They are greater than 7-point favorites. This is just something that shapes up for like the running back on the favorite side of that play. The only thing that you could really throw a wrench in there is like, well, they're on the road and not at home. And like, you got to worry about the home dogs, because home dogs always just seem to get it done. But no, I agree. I mean, you want a running back on a 7-point favorite team that just carried the rock 17 times and one reception as well. I think it's a really good call.
I'll be the Carson Steele wet blanket too, and say, we are going to get Kareem Hunt right on the active squad this week, and wondering, do those rush attempts come down a little bit? Was that workload maybe a little inflated without an extra guy in that backfield?
Yeah. Absolutely, fully agree with you there, Pete. Kareem Hunt last year, though, or the last year and a half or whatever, like though name value and knows the system and whatnot, has been like one of the most inefficient rushers in football. So
he was really bad last year. I mean, even with Nick Chubb hurt, he never eclipsed greater than 40% of snaps, and like, yeah, it just really didn't do a ton, but it definitely is like it's a very fair aren't you worried for sure.
Can I
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask you guys, this Ford Q tag down here. I don't know. I feel like that one, this Cam Akers situation. Okay, let me rephrase. This is a terrible sentence. I feel like attacking whoever comes out of the Texans backfield and attacking whoever comes out of the Browns backfield this week feels decent as well. Now, I'm not sure which it'll be at this point in time, but I think either way, they'll be somewhat sneaky.
That was, yeah. It's interesting, man. I think, while we're on the topic of scroll the F downs, the Browns just continue to throw the ball an ungodly amount. It's crazy, right? I mean, they are one of the pass heaviest teams in football, despite having the worst quarterback in football. However, I think we need to be taking kind of a hard look, maybe not at Watson, but Amari Cooper this week. I mean, got to put the obligatory revenge game for Amari here. But Max Crosby getting ruled out, I think, is just huge for the Browns because Deshaun Watson holds onto the ball way, way too long. Max Crosby not being in for the Raiders, I think, is a huge deal. Now, maybe the Raiders can't, give them a game, and that does kind of change things. We actually see a normal, game script or normal play calling from the Browns. Not willing to bet on that because we haven't seen it yet. So I think Amari Cooper might have a chance to have a really strong game. To be honest, I don't know if he's scroll down territory, but it seems like he might be. He's wide receiver 16. So
he's definitely scrolling the 6 persons.
He's below Juwan Jennings. So yeah, we're gonna call it a scroll.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anyone else you guys wanted to hit on running back there? Is there a squeaky wheel here in Tampa Bay?
I mean, the only thing that's interesting, I think, is the fact that Bucky, popped up on the injury report, and the whole reason Rashad is sliding is because he's losing so much work to Bucky. But if he gets all that back, then he's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah.
I think Rashad, I think for a while we weren't sure what Rashad needed to be successful. I think until we see otherwise, negative game script only for Rashad White because he's still really good in the passing game. If we get AJ Brown in, maybe this is just like Galaxy Brain. AJ Brown being in, I think, would be good for Rashad White if they have the ability to score more points and cause the Bucks to chase. But if this game's going to look ugly and sloppy, I don't think we can trust Rashad White in what we deem to be neutral or even game.
It gets really hard with the half point PPR because you can still talk yourself into him when you could get the scam PPR scoring with him, negative script, but it's man, you're getting no efficiency on the ground, you're getting no explosive plays, you have a threat at the goal line. It's just the window for upside just keeps getting narrower and narrower.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a 2 touchdown dart that you're just oh yeah, I could just throw that at anyone back here.
It would be the most frustrating thing in the world if he was in the winning lineup. That it would just it would tilt me to no end.
I'll give you one scroll down quarterback.
Okay.
Nez will like this one. He just narrowly missed the cut for me in my video, but I think Justin Fields is in play this week.
I mean, absolutely, right?
Yeah, those skinny stacks are getting more and more expensive in the Dawg Bowl stuff, the him to Pickens ones over and over again. I was really surprised that was going to be a pace up spot. Both teams playing fast right now. I mean, I knew the Colts were. I just thought the O-line versus D-line matchup would really drag down the pace of that game. But ETR still has it as one of their pace up bowls of the week. So I'll give you the even further scroll, and it's just, can Anthony Richardson hit a deep ball or two?
Vegas doesn't know what to do with Anthony Richardson. I think that's very obvious because this Steelers Colts game is a 40-point total right now. And the Steelers, I mean, I'm not going to get hyperbolic here, but they're the best defense in football. I think that's pretty obvious, but Vegas is just man, we can't not factor in that Anthony Richardson could blow this game up. If he just maybe gets lucky with the deep balls and actually connects on one, then we are in for a very fun game. I do think that that's like kind of an interesting angle to play this game is like, maybe, AR connects but like I much prefer obviously to play it through Fields, Pickens, and Muth. And if I don't get Fields, then to give me some Najee. But I agree, Pete. I love the Fields call here, obviously. But I think the game environment just like makes way too much sense, right?
And I think too, you treat Richardson like you do Jaden Daniels, where you don't have to force the stack. The wide receiver room with Downs back is so split. Sure, you could bank the Alec Pierce or whoever gets loose for the TD, but you're probably just sacrificing way too much. You just roll him out naked and just hope that he runs a long one in.
Yep, absolutely. The one that everyone was tripping over themselves to draft last week was Derek Carr. And now all of a sudden nobody wants to play that could be the slop it up fest of the week. And the running backs go every single time. Bijan's banged up, Kamara's banged up. What if these two teams just come out there and just air it the fuck out and play old school dome game, slop it up back and forth? It shouldn't be fast, but it could be fast if both the running backs are banged up. So I don't know. Yeah. I've been gravitating to doing that. And then I've done a couple Jordan Love skinnies in the 5-6 there of the Dawg Bowl as well.
It's funny because you have almost the classic Saints dynamic that we had a lot last year, which was Chris Olave going in every draft, but being more on the fringe side of that, not like an uber smash top 15 stud. And then now you have Rashid Shaheed outside of the taken in every draft window. I really like the Shaheed stuff.
Yeah, I think people are scared of Shaheed, and like that was exactly what like we've been seeing and what we wanted to see. It just like didn't result in fantasy points, like 2 end zone targets, 100 air yards. Like Rashid still did Shaheed things. It's not like he wasn't involved. They just didn't connect.
I was getting that pushback on the on my portfolio review on Monday, and I'm like, go look, he's got a 20% target share in 3 straight games. Like
bullish
actual
signal for us
isn't volatile. Like I think you go back to him.
Yeah, absolutely. You absolutely do, especially if everybody else is like, it was a fluke. Like he did everything that he did before. He just didn't catch the ball this time.
What is he in Dawg Bowls? Is he just like a routine, like 5th or 6th round pick? I assume he goes in every Dawg Bowl.
Yeah, thereabouts. I saw him. Actually, no, I didn't see him go undrafted last night. It was close.
It's close.
Yeah,
he's a 6th rounder though.
That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. Any other scroll down plays before we hop in the Deposit Kingdom draft?
Yeah, just one. This is this is the game environment everybody's looking at, but I don't think enough people are like, I'm going to port Juwan Jennings, that thesis onto Michael Wilson this week for the Cardinals. Undrafted in Dawg Bowls. If I miss out on or if Debo doesn't
undrafted
play,
in Dawg Bowls?
Yeah. He's like my priority swap right now. For AJ Brown, for Debo Samuel, all these wide receivers who I might miss. I mean, to me, this is just like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like he's going to be number 2 in targets this week, like almost assuredly. He ran more routes than Greg Dortch last week. Targets were up. Targets per route run were up for Michael Wilson. We liked this guy during best ball season. This matchup does not get better at home against Washington with the chance to get pushed as well because Washington looks competent. I'm loving Michael Wilson this week.
Yeah, it's a good little leverage play there.
92% of the routes last week, 28% target share, 26% targets per route run on a solid A dot. Yeah.
Yeah. And that Q tag on Marvin Harrison too.
Yeah, I think he's going to play, but yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah, that's a really good shout out. I put for my cram show on Sunday, I put Michael Wilson cover boy. That was the take I floated on the Swolecast too, was Michael Wilson as this week's Juwan Jennings, which is a lofty one. But man, I'm gonna have to hop in there and get some Michael Wilson in the 12 mans.
Yeah.
Added a couple names here, just the Jaden Reed, the Pickens. We talked about Cooper, and then Jordan Addison. I mean, nobody's
good call.
Justin Jefferson goes obviously every single draft and whatever, and he's wide receiver 1 right now. He has a very poor track record against Jair Alexander. So I don't know. What if they just play a little ISO ball on that side of the field, and that opens up some underneath stuff, or some slot usage for Jordan Addison coming back.
I like that. I hadn't given him any thought. I like that shout. He seems like a classic too, like double stack in the 12 person drafts. Do the you get Jefferson and you finish it with Darnold Addison. Okay. John, you want to take us over to the lobby where we have the Deposit Kingdom Weekly League is live here for week 4. Also, as we're getting this pulled up, we got to give a little birthday shout out to the OG Badge Bro, Numi. Happy birthday to Numi here.
His Adrian Peterson year, 28. So he's growing up fast.
What a young pup.
I know.
So lucky. As you guys can see, the Badge Bros Brawl's up as well there. So both of them up in the lobby right now. Perfect.
Because Badge Bros Brawl had been dropping Saturdays. Is it going to be earlier now?
I hope. Yeah, I hope it's in unison with Deposit Kingdom 1 now.
Nice. All right. And I gave a shout out to, I believe it was Matt Guerin 88, who took down last week's. Also give him a shout out in the Deposit Kingdom video that'll post later today. Took it down with a Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry pairing there. That was the meta last week. The quarterback, running back pairings, a lot of, my Jalen Hurts, Barkley hit. This week, Justin Fields and Najee. Is that what it is?
Who says no? Who says no?
Yeah. I certainly don't.
The thing that's tough is like, that's a game that probably needs pushed. And like, I just want to roster both the quarterbacks. Like, I just want both these guys. How do you possibly play that? Like, how do you possibly play a run back in that game? I guess maybe JT. I haven't really done JT because I respect my home team so much, but I am really worried that like he just goes burr because he's really the best thing going on this offense right now.
Yeah, I think you just keep it's like the Kyron thing, right? It's like the workload is just so good. And Kyron's been incredibly inefficient, but it does not matter if you're getting 25 plus opportunities a game and every single goal line look. It's like
you're just they're just gonna shove it in his belly.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guy Chris here, who's in the 4-hole milk in the clock. Took down second and third last night in that primetime Palooza slate there in the smaller one. The main winner shipped both contests last night.
Logan Dempsey, right?
Logan Dempsey. So shout out Logan Dempsey. That's alpha shit. Taking down both. All right, guys. All the usual suspects go out off there. I'm legit scared of Bijan this week. Nico. Nico is the ETR darling. They're WR1.
A lot of good numbers that people are talking about with the Jags, that they run a ton of man coverage, and Nico's just going to torch them. I would maybe throw my hat in the ring for Marvin here, but let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, I was going to say, you lots of good running back options. Are you off the Bijan Bowl taking Marv over Bij?
I am like a little worried, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think the fact that the shoulder happened midweek is what's really giving me pause. It didn't. I don't think it was on the injury report Wednesday, and I think it came up Thursday. If I have my timeline correct, that does kind of scare me. Plus, just the way that like the offense has looked really bad right now, and the Saints defense is not bad either. I'm just like really in a tizzy right now with Bijan, even though I know Saquon just kind of lit them up. So I think right now, like, I like Marv more than Bijan, just like not overthinking this matchup for Marv.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, this is going to be a fun week. Nez and I are on polar opposite sides of the spectrum this week. And that kind of doesn't really happen that often with the two of us, Nez. I would have clicked Mason and Kyron there. I wouldn't have taken either of the wide receivers.
Why are you off Nico?
I'm a little more skittish on the game environment there and the injury coupled with it. Yeah.
I do the thing that's you said Kyron and Mason, right?
Yeah.
I do Kyron, you'll get zero pushback from me. I do worry about like the true ceiling for Mason. it seems like he's got that really high floor. I do worry about, like, does he have the 30 ball in him, where I know Nico Collins has that 30 ball in his bag.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing for me.
Patriots are an interesting team too, because like they're gonna play a shitty brand of football on offense, and they on defense are like kind of tough too. I like Jordan Mason. I thought Jordan Mason was actually going to project like a lot better than he is, given the fact that they are 10-point favorites. But yeah, no, I agree. I think that this could end up being like a good game for Jordan Mason, but like when you flip the cards over, it's actually like 13 points.
Stack it up.
Yeah, stack it up with Kyler seems logical here.
Yeah.
And then I think we can do whatever and scroll and that sort of thing. What do you guys like?
I would just say in this size contest, I would have no problem going Kyler Connor as well.
Okay.
Would just be a thing I would not do in the big BR, but here I think it would be perfectly fine. If this is the game that goes for 60 points, like, you will be very happy to have this 3. And coincidentally, this was JM's building block for our show today, Kyler, Connor, and Marv.
All right. Hat tip to JM. Let's do it.
Yeah. So the JM special here. We'll make sure to break him off a little something if this hits the cash line.
He's a real one.
Don't worry, John. We can scroll with these final picks.
he's shaking over here.
I'm fucking itching. We're taking guys at ADP. What are we doing?
Way too close to the top of the queue there. Yeah, I think too in that same game, like we didn't really talk about it much because we were just more focused on the leverage here, but Brian Robinson looks like he's set up for a really great game too, right? Like with no Eckler there. Eckler actually had a pretty solid role. Now it's McNichols back there. Let's see. Let's give Brian Robinson 90% of snaps and see what happens.
Yeah. Did we just see?
Ooh, lost your mic there. That honestly
trippy.
That sounded like you kind of like went into to the other side, almost.
Dude,
like
he went to the future.
Well, when I saw Chuba get drafted, my body was transported.
I don't know if everybody else heard that, but that was like a little poltergeisty, maybe a little like that was strange.
That's funny.
But you're back now.
Okay, we're back.
I'm laughing at Clay's comment in the chat that he's never seen me look so uncomfortable when we took 4 players at ADP.
It's funny.
Oh shit.
All right, so how are we gonna scroll here? We know we talked about tight ends. That's a little too easy. I think a running back scroll.
Yeah, running back scroll makes sense here.
Yeah, for sure. I really wanted Kittle to come back.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. I probably would have taken Kittle at 19 and then gone double scroll with these last 2. But yeah, because like the Schultz, I don't like pairing Nico and Schultz, though it's not a terrible idea in this size contest, as you alluded to, Pete. We could do Brian Robinson on the bring back here. He's not typically the type of running back that I would utilize in that fashion. Your boy Komet is still here, Nez, if you want to do that.
I like the Brian Robinson Schultz. Like, just let's stack up the Texans without Stroud. We only get one quarterback here.
Okay.
I'm cool with it too. I think it's just a fun way to just, identify 2 spots that we like in this size contest. I think you can do that.
Okay. Sounds good to me, gents. It's funny this is a good hedge against my portfolio to play the double chalk games all in one lineup in this contest right now, because I've been kind of fading this outside
double
of
chalk game. I mean, Jags Texans isn't a chalk game.
Yeah,
the Jags are barely getting drafted.
That's true.
I guess maybe it should be.
It's just
right?
Nico and Shroud go every draft, right?
Yeah. Second highest total on the main slate. I think it's close. It's close. It's not by market, but by or third highest total. Excuse me.
I just think you could say it's the stack the chalk offense, but not a single Jag is getting taken.
There we go. Yeah. Well, maybe there's the leverage. Maybe I got to be the Trevor Lawrence guy this week.
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly don't think it's terrible, man, but I just can't do it because of, what my eyes saw. But
I did it once here, but I fucked it up. Nico, and then it was like a break glass after I ended up with Travis Etienne, Lawrence, and then did the Ingram in the last round or whatever. Like it was bad. Not a bad team there, guys. Yeah, audio listeners.
Do you want to do a brawl real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Now we can really scroll.
Do you remember it?
The team we just drafted?
Yeah, for the audio listeners. Do you remember it?
Oh, of course.
All right.
Kyler
rattle it
Murray,
off.
James Conner, Brian Robinson, Nico Collins. Shit, now I'm gonna forget the other wide receiver, Dalton Schultz, and Marvin Harrison. We had the stack.
There we go.
There you go.
Just
The
think of
audio
top-
listeners. Absolutely serviced.
All
right.
I will make again the PSA for the Deposit Kingdom Weekly League. It's been finishing or filling like Saturday mid morning. So if you want to get in your 3 entries, I would make sure you get those in tonight to make sure you can max it.
Yeah. It's only 3 max, so it's not like a huge endeavor. It's nice everybody gets a chance to get those entries in, but yeah, it feels very fast.
What are you guys at on? We didn't talk about the Jets at all yet.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you guys at with? I'm skittish on the Brees usage. I think they know Allen's really good now. I'm scared of how much they're using Lazard for the Garrett Wilson ceiling stuff. I haven't really been touching either of them this week. What do you guys think?
I do take some Garrett Wilson for sure.
Yeah.
I've been mostly living in the Dawg Bowls this week, so like it becomes a lot easier to click Garrett Wilson in that fashion where I'm like, okay, here's an alpha, or maybe not quite an alpha by usage just yet, but I'm cool with Chase here.
Yeah, Pete, who do you like out of this Brees, Justin Jefferson, Chase, Bijan tier?
I've been taking Brees here, Brees or Jefferson. But I mean, I have a hard time picking nits with any of these guys. Explain to people who are most people we explain the Deposit Kingdom contest, but the Badge Bros Brawl, obviously regular viewers are very familiar. But if we got some new people, explain what's unique about this structure.
Yeah, only 18 players drafted total. So only 3 quarterbacks, three tight ends usually are kind of like formulating the chalk. So it really incentivizes people to go for some big scrolls and find some unique levers to pull. Okay, guys, who do you like?
Well, out of all the best players here, I think we can pencil in. I think we should just like make this a Burrow team, and just kind of say that that's happening. Shoot, man, how do you just say no to like Brees or one of these wideouts here? I
like Brees because it's again going to be similar dynamic, right? If we talked about there being like 10 maybe true studs, non-onesie studs this week, like you try to get as many of those 10 on the team, and then you scroll.
Yeah. What do you think? So I'm cool with Kyron. And then, like I said, I think we make this a Burrow team because I think he's going to be considered a scroll in this contest.
Okay.
And we don't have to be like, sweaty leverage people and like do Debo and play these Q tags. But I think this is like a fantastic contest for
What about Kittle in this one, in this format too, is really nice.
Yeah, I think maybe we can make an exception with Kittle.
This is how I would end this team right now.
Yeah. DJ Moore for the scroll.
Yeah. DJ Moore for the scroll, Kittle for the leverage, Burrow for the scroll correlation.
What lineup took it down last week? Do you remember?
Copper Prices did. But we can go look at it in a second. Are you guys cool with this?
Yeah, I like that. I just have to pull it up on my phone here to see what he did.
Yeah, I'll pull it up in half a second here. Yeah.
And how many entries in this contest?
1,100-ish.
I think it's we might have changed from
2,200. 2,200.
Okay.
Yeah, last
week.
Yeah, last week they went up to the $7 price point and lowered the total entries just because it was closer to lock than being dropped today. What was Zach Moss scroll?
Ooh,
that's what I'm talking about.
A little bit of fancy play syndrome.
I think he's one of my highest drafted running backs in the Dawg Bowl right now.
That's fun.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, he is. He is my highest drafted player in Dawg Bowls.
Burrow, Brees Hall. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Who's your highest drafted, Ness?
In Dawg Bowls, it's Zach Moss.
Okay. What is that like? Is he a 4th rounder?
Yeah, typically 4th round, but he's been creeping up.
Yeah.
Bash Bros Brawl, last week's winner, Copper Prices, took it down with a Dak Prescott who was not in the top 3 at quarterback. He was quarterback 6, I believe. So Dak Prescott double stack with Ferg and Lamb, and then he had Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then he had a Sharp scroll in there, and then he had the Saquon up there. So he had Saquon and CD, which would be, top ADP guys.
And
Amon-Ra was up there as well. Yeah. And then three scrolls. So
dude,
beautiful.
This is insane to win a 3-person contest, a 3-person draft contest with a 6-point CD Lamb score is
that is
crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
It shows like it was what we were just talking about, right? You get the 3 of the top 10 players, which were Barkley, Lamb, Amon-Ra, and then you lean into the correlation, and then you back into a victory because Lamb got you to Dak and Ferguson. The same thing happened with mine. Hurts flopped, but it got me to Goddard because I'm like, I'll stack this up. Right. So man, correlation in these small tournaments, it's a powerful drug.
Getting us home.
Here we go.
All right, should we hop over and do a dog bowl here?
Yeah, you want me to click right now? You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna hop in one. I'm gonna do my first dog bowl of the week.
Oh, 1 person.
Shit. Pete, did you get in?
I think I got in, yeah.
Okay. We might have did it this time, fellas.
Yes. 9, 11, 12. All right, let's battle.
There we go. Okay, perfect. We're all in here.
Nez was just lamenting how many 12s, and now he dragged us all back there.
It's actually unbelievable, man. Like, it goes Alvin Kamara, ADP 10-9, and then Dallas Goedert 14-8. No, sir. Are you joking? This is crazy.
Shoot, man.
This is absurd.
Oh,
I have to get there though. I have to. I'm feeling a little anxious, man. It's week 4. The heat's on. Last
what week did you win last year?
Week 2.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was.
That's nice to get that out of the way.
I picked back for like the rrest of the season. I was, just like thinking about, man, like I made to I can just coast from here. Now it's like, the heat's on. Feels like a good week for it. We'll see what happens.
You get that win and you're so confident the next 3 weeks, the rest of the season, you're so confident. You just look at this board, you scroll all the way down here and you just go fucking Courtland Sutton, of course, obviously.
It just seems so big.
Yeah.
Seeing the field after a victory is just like, oh my God, it's drugs. It's actual drugs.
Well, we were talking about that last night on the Shipcast where it's like, we nailed our second half pick'ems because our court, and it's like you're playing loose, you're seeing the board. When you're down, it's like the second half pick'ems, you're chasing, you're making bad decisions, you're trying to get even. Front running is really the way to do it.
And you're trying to layer your ones to make sure that the original core gets home too. So you're doubling down on something that's already not happening.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad. I missed Shipcast last night. I had some plans and whatnot, but I was very thankful that the core got home. Shout out to you guys. But I didn't realize that you guys got the second half home stuff too. Generational wealth opportunity missed by me not watching.
Yeah, we built 3 at halftime and then went 2 for 3. The only one that didn't hit, we did like a Tolbert Neighbors Tutty bomb there. But yeah, the other 2. Wandell, just, reception merchant, coming in clutch.
He's a dog.
Oh, I guess I don't have to ask you guys. Fuck yeah, I'm over talking about what plays you guys like. Give me Kyron Williams, baby.
I thought you were about to rug us and do Bijan and say, actually, you know what? Screw you guys. Bijan at pick 9 is generational wealth. As they say.
Actually, last night, speaking of the Neighbors one, if Neighbors, that 6 minutes left in that ball game, I turned it on. If Neighbors had found the end zone, or if Ferg had found the end zone on the situation before that, Crutches and I would have chopped the primetime Palooza. Yeah, but instead we finished 15th or something. Directionally accurate yet again.
Des, I'll make sure you don't have to deal with this this issue with Bijan here. I'll take it.
Yeah, man, you would have really put me in a pickle there. Shout out to MPV for MVP for taking James Conner. Got to ride with the projections. I really appreciate that. I will definitely take Alvin Kamara, who's back at practice. I'm kind of milking this because after this, it's the Wild West.
It is.
I've been doing some QB stuff here. Feels not as fun to do Kyler without Marv in here. And I just think by cost, Mike Evans is a better play than Godwin. Like, I think they project very similarly in this matchup.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe there's some leverage to taking Evans here, but I'm going to go, I'm going Jaden Daniels, man. I can't help it.
Okay.
I need to chase what I just saw on prime time. And I mean, he's running like 10 times a game. That's just like invaluable. Really increases the floor.
I'm going to grab Kyler, like we were talking about before, lots of kind of fun ways you can backstack him, or if you get shut out, not the end of the world either. So we'll roll with that.
Yep, he's been playing really well. This is kind of setting up nicely, kind of like 1, 2, 3 here. We get to make our
Dude, MPV here. He's dancing around the ADP board. Josh Jacobs pick number 2.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. That's going to be a fun matchup, man. I'm like, I wish it was setting up to be higher scoring, but Minnesota just looks like they have a pretty strong defense there. But if we get Jordan Love back, which it does seem like we will, that's going to be a lot of fun. And it does seem like he's going to play. The reports were he was close last week, and it definitely seemed like it.
There's those 3 divisional games that aren't catching, like, that aren't super popular, right? Like New Orleans and Falcons, Green Bay, Minnesota, and then Jags and Houston. Like, one of those games is going to get nutty. One of them is going to.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Which is your guys' favorite of that bunch to get nutty?
I think that Falcons Saints game.
Me too. I think so too, man. Like, I think people are sleeping on everyone was so gung-ho about Carr last week, and then Carr going up against the Eagles. Like, it's a difference in Carr going up against Atlanta. It might be more fun.
Yeah, I think I would probably vote for Jags Texans, but maybe that's just like way too much faith in Trevor Lawrence actually getting it together. I mean, that was my bold prediction in the summer, that I thought the Jags would be a scoring machine, and it just simply has not turned out that way. But I just think the way that they've been playing right now, they have a chance to make that game pretty crazy.
Yeah. That one would be, it's like you just want a big Jags play, like the bomb to Brian Thomas, Etienne rips off a big run, like just put the Texans on their heels right away.
Yeah, and we saw Christian Kirk, 10 targets last week. I think you could maybe kind of why does he always start off every season slow? I mean, the man made Leone issue an apology, like a formally written apology last year. Now this year he comes out slow again. Like, what is up with the Christian Kirk? I got to start off slow and get my legs under me, but looks kind of back now. There's a chance, man. I just think it's not going to be because of the play calling. That's for sure. Yeah. It'll be at the will of Trevor Lawrence if it happens.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I know Trevor Lawrence has issues, but man, I assign so much more blame to this just pitiful play calling. This Press Taylor. I mean, it's enough. I mean, every single play is just having their guys win one-on-one on the outside. There's not a single layup in this offense. Like, everything looks hard. Everything.
Yeah. No Evan Ingram and everything changes, right? I mean, he was the layup guy. I mean, there was no efficiency about it, but for just easy dump offs, he was definitely that guy. This is the latest I've seen Deontay last in a long time. I think the practice reports are pushing him down. Once ETR gave everyone the green light to take him in the second round, it was like a race to draft Deontay in these.
Same with Mike Evans right now.
Yeah, the Q tags scare people like crazy.
And the rain, people are a little worried about the rain in that Tampa Bay game, I think.
Because of the cyclone.
But it's already passed through. I missed that bit. I know. It's not even a cyclone, right? Like it
was a hurricane. And the whole thing was I was like, it's hitting like yesterday. I was like, it's by Sunday, we're gonna be fine.
It's as real as the El Nino.
I mean, the hurricane
actually
was
pretty sad.
Real.
I think they're.
Oh, really? Was it bad?
Yeah, there was a lot of rain. Yeah, there was. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Jay Steele, Ship It Nation, saying that it's bone dry now, so Tampa's gonna be good. But I think the overarching point is like we don't care necessarily a lot. You shouldn't care a ton about rain, right? It's the strong winds where you actually need to start, changing your process a little bit. So if people are going to discount the Bucks because of the rain. I think we take advantage of that by and large, especially because I don't think I'm still betting against the Eagles defense.
Yeah.
Seems like a good bet. This is a weird.
All right. John snaps up Evans. Deontay Johnson falls to 3-8. That feels like a smash.
Of course, Crash Rich, never going to pass that up.
Man, what am I going to do here? I might go some spicy marks because Pitts is a guy I'm not going to get to in the 6-mans much at all. I already have Bijan. We already talked about this is the game getting nutty.
Ooh, Higgins, dude, he is getting crazy.
T. Higgins. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, Connor Jacobs, Higgins. All right, spicy marks. Kyle Pitts.
Oh man, I think I might just be
Elijah Higgins.
I'm thinking about being a slappy.
What's the slap?
Being a Q tag slappy and swiping AJ Brown here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go AJ Brown, McLaurin for the Jaden Daniels stack. But yeah, leaning into if AJ Brown plays, that's looking like a great spot if he does happen to play.
Yeah, if you didn't do it, I was gonna do it with the Mike Evans thing right here.
Yeah,
this is another one where I think I'll probably be kind of lighter on DJ Moore. Just because I'll have way more, I think, Keenan in the 6-man. So I'm gonna get some DJ here.
Nice. That's a really good.
There goes my other game environment one. I was like, one of those two will come back. So now the pivot is Pickens. Those were like the 3 game environment ones. I like Kittle more in a vacuum, but I gotta set myself up with some outs here.
I like that the run back you got going on. You know, JT maybe finding some efficiency on the ground, pushing the Steelers. That feels like a fun way to play it.
There was the thesis there, Nez. I gave myself 3 outs, and it was the last of the 3 that I wanted. But
you're playing 4D chess, man. I'm here like on the clock sweating, and you've already.
That's why I'm so quiet, dude. That's why I'm being so quiet. I'm so focused.
Is that how you are at the poker table? You're just.
Oh man, I'm a fucking windbag like I am in real life. I just chat and shit. Actually, I went and played a pretty big game last night. I'm kind of tired right now. I didn't get. I don't think I fell asleep until like 4.
An IRL game?
Yeah. After Thursday night football. Well, tail end of Thursday night football.
A private game or a casino?
Whatever. Private game. And I took an absolute bath. We're gonna have to win the battle royale. Baby.
That's why you've been grinding so hard in these BRs.
Yeah, that's why we got to get some volume up now.
So you're gonna get invited back at least, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, that one I always kind of, if I'm around, I get invited. So
that's funny. MPV doing the T Higgins Burrow thing, I think is definitely interesting. I didn't think T Higgins obviously the box score like wasn't awesome, but I'll take 8 targets for T Higgins, like for sure in that game. I think Burrow, we can probably put any questions about the wrist to rest after, like a nice get right game against the Commanders here. That seems like a pretty nice stack, or just like looking at the Bengals in general this week for like 2 reasons. One, I think nobody respects the Panthers defense. And 2, obviously, we got the Andy Dalton revenge game, obviously, but just Andy Dalton, they're leading a pretty efficient offense with Canales. Like we like Canales as a coach. Dalton, it's one of the biggest, it's hilarious to say, it's one of the biggest upgrades I think we've seen just like mid-season for a team switching from Bryce Young to Andy Dalton, and like what it's done like in the pick'em lobbies for like Deontay even. I think there's like a 20-yard difference from going from Bryce Young to Dalton just alone there. So, a little bit of chance for them to have to push the pace, and just being able to carve up that Carolina defense, I think is, a pretty nice way to play it.
Yep. John, are you down bad after the Justin Fields pick? Were you hoping?
Yeah, I was trying to get myself out. So we could fall back on Baker here. We can fall back on A-Rich and just do like some weird ass Jonathan Taylor A-Rich thing. It feels negatively correlated, but not the end of the world there if we do that one.
You guys told me that Michael Wilson was available in the 6th round of all these Dawg Bowls. I feel lied to.
Yeah, holy.
Who's responsible for this 5th round Michael Wilson pick? I'm not entirely sure.
Right after I
looking for
finally
the
get
guy.
in, I take Kyler because I was like, I've been told I just get Michael Wilson for free if I do that.
Oopsie daisy.
Everyone in the chat saying that Bijan logged a full practice today. So
John in shambles.
Yeah, Pete with some generational closing value there.
It's definitely hard not. I mean, you always got to pay attention to the midweek cues. I mean, that's just good praxis.
Man, board's pretty gross right now.
Well, welcome to the Dawg Bowl.
This is where crazy. I immediately wish I could change my Kyler Murray to anyone and then just take Caleb Williams here instead.
Yeah.
Back quarterback is awesome. And there goes another one of mine. Crash Rich has been taking Anthony Richardson every damn draft. I should have known better. We'll take Schultz here. It doesn't give us another stack out, but you guys all got quarterbacks behind. So this is a Baker team now, which is very unfortunate because that was the one quarterback out of like the 4 or 5 that I was lining up that I didn't really want to take and kind of got hamstrung into it.
I like the Baker stacks though this week.
Yeah.
He's kind of disappointed after the had to have him week, and I think the Eagles kind of maybe are tricking some people right now into thinking that they're a decent team. So I like the spot. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a really good bounce back spot. We're gonna double stack with my boy Zach Ertz here. And
nice.
And now I'm thinking about this next pick, and now that Michael Wilson is gone, I don't know that I want to risk it with Debo here. So let me just think this through here. The Jags options here are interesting. What do you got for me?
Rashad White, bro, do it.
Oh, come on, man.
Do it. Little bring back off AJ Brown. Nobody's
Spoiler
gonna
alert.
click it.
Spoiler alert. I'm not doing that. I think I'm gonna. Fuck it, man. Alpha play. Debo Samuel. Let's go.
Alpha play it is.
If that's alpha play, I'm feeling okay.
Have fun swapping to Rashad White.
Noah Brown made the block, buddy. I'm good. I'm good. I got Noah Brown in my back pocket.
I'd like to revise a take from earlier. Greg Dortch is actually this week's Juwan Jennings.
There we go.
As I misspoke when I said Michael Wilson. It's Greg Dortch.
That's a great pivot, though. Like it honestly is.
Oh man,
we tricked him.
All right, let's hear them, boys, and then see who's got the best team between the 3 of us here. Mine went Baker, Kyron, Jonathan Taylor, Mike Evans, George Pickens, Dalton Schultz. Pete, what do you got?
Yeah, so I had the Kyler Murray running backs, Bijan, J.K. Dobbins was the last pick, just kind of chasing some volume there. I think he could get going again after, getting stymied by the Steelers last week. DJ Moore, Greg Dortch for the stack, and then Kyle Pitts for the meme / spicy mark / I actually think he could have a good game in this spot.
I do like the Dobbins pick quite a bit. I think, with the way that the Chiefs Freudian slip, their offense has been playing lately. I don't think that it would shock anybody if, they kind of fell a little flat, and Dobbins' role is really solid here. My team, Jaden Daniels stacked with Terry McLaurin and Zach Ertz, Alvin Kamara, RB1, paired with Q-Tag AJ Brown, Q-Tag Debo Samuel. We love leverage, don't we, folks?
You also love double swaps.
And you took Greg Dortch.
I was terrified you were going to take Greg Dortch as your bring back, and then I was going to be really in my feels.
I probably should have made you take your take some Debo there, but that's all right. That's all right. I mean, I like the Jags game. A lot of Jags receivers to be swapped to, so I'm fine. Everything is fine.
Should we build some pick'ems, fellas?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of in lockstep there. The Dobbins one I liked early in the week there, but then now with the offensive line stuff and the Herbert stuff, I'm kind of off of it. But I could see the path.
He's not going to be a scroll for me in the 6-mans, but the board that I was looking at there at the end of this, it had me sad. You guys got me really excited to do Dawg Bowls, and now I'm not as excited after that spot.
we kind of mushed the edge.
No Mixon or Akers went in that one.
Wow.
Roshan Johnson getting talked up right now. Like
I
he
almost took Roshan. Yeah. With my DJ Moore. But again, it's similar thing kind of with the Rashad White, where it's like, I think I'm going to like it on DraftKings. I think he's like 4,100 this week, and he's going to catch 4 or 5 balls. You toss him on with Caleb in an onslaught. All right. Pick'ems. As always, I think we're gonna do 3 here. We're gonna first build our core, which hit last week. So kind of just one of our favorite plays. Maybe it's a 3 entry, maybe it's a 5. We shall see. Then we will build up a game stack. Maybe one of those games we were just talking about, we think might be a sneaky shootout. And then we will get the spicy margs rolling here. And be sure to, everyone has kind of different stuff. I believe in their lobby, I have different profit boosts. So make sure you guys are taking advantage of those as you guys build these entries.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll start off with one, and I kind of mentioned it. I love the Caleb Williams higher than 224.5 passing yards. I know that the stuff was artificially boosted last week, but man, this seems like such a manageable number against this Rams team.
Yeah, I think what helps in his favor is like they simply cannot run the football. It's impossible for them to run. So how is it not through Caleb if they do anything in this game? So you've got my vote of confidence there. John, you want me to go?
I like Brian Robinson stuff.
Okay, let me get him off my screen then. Let's. What do you like from his page?
I like the rushing stuff probably. Just
like the yards.
Best. Yeah,
just 64.5.
I mean, yes and no, but I think it feels like the best. This kind of range there.
Yeah,
I'd stay clear of some of the receiving stuff if they have a week to prepare. That maybe they use Jeremy McNichols a little bit more. So yeah, I'm hoping he gets more of the receiving work and he plays at 80% of snaps. But I think the stuff that I want to bank on is the rushing.
Nice.
Yeah. I kind of like going the yards there too, as opposed to like the attempts, right? I'd want to count on maybe a couple big plays in case the game script does get a little wonky.
I'm gonna throw us some protection in here, boys. Bijan Robinson to score a touchdown here is straight up 1x, and I think that if they get anywhere near the goal line, and just his ability to break off a big play. I love it. And if he doesn't score and Algier scores, then we're covered when those other 2 picks hit anyways. That to me seems like a no-brainer, getting that vulture protection with 1x. Right. I think it's like a cornerstone for me this week.
I mean, we went from Nez being spooked off of Bijan, to just, the most bullish case I've ever heard right there. Just a lock to score
and I want to put money on it.
We're back.
Oopsie daisy.
That's a fun little core. I like that. 20%.
Do you guys have a few more from the gut you want to add to this?
I like doing 3s for the core. They have a better hit rate. Good for the marketing, and
I'm happy to do this and then add 2 more to it. Let's do this as a core, and then let's add to it if we have 2 more plays.
Okay.
Yeah. So one that I really like, and again, some of these are going to be featured in the Deposit Kingdom one, but let me see if it's changed much from when I last made it. It hasn't. Dalton Schultz receiving yards.
Yeah,
I like.
Okay.
31.5.
Hit the wrong button. Classic John move. Hold on one sec.
Nothing in the Rivals tab yet. I was checking that out. You had me curious. That's gonna be a Sunday thing for me then.
Yeah, I know. I check the Rivals tab religiously on Thursdays for our Shipcast ones, but I forget a lot on the main slate.
They're so fun.
Yeah,
they just gave us an extra yard on Caleb.
They're daring us.
Little Numi birthday gift.
Thank you, Numi. A little gift
birthday gift.
What if we do For this one, what if we pick a Bears pass catcher to pair with Caleb?
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at who's.
So DJ Moore. I mean, I took his 5.5 receptions last week. I guess it's juiced. It's only 0.88. 4.5 seems light. Do we have a Keenan? Keenan just TDs. Okay. I always want the receptions with him.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I wonder where Roshan's at this one.
Do they have numbers for him, or because sometimes they get a little scared when?
Ooh, Roshan numbers. Wow, 47.5, 2 receptions. Those are some pretty high numbers. That instills a little bit of confidence that he's going to be, featured or primary.
40.
I mean, I like the receptions there. 2 receptions. He had 4 last week, and this is like usage bump rumors.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
53 attempts trailing script, though. Do we think we get that versus the Rams?
I just think you have a couple outs to get there. If they just put him out on the field.
I'm cool with the receptions. I would definitely not be on board with yards, but 2 receptions I think is fine.
Yards looks big. The receptions though definitely look.
Yeah, they are buying into that.
I kind of like that number more than the Rome number or the DJ Moore number that we're getting doxed on both of them.
Yeah, if we weren't getting doxed on the 4.5, I think that'd be pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Swift 1.5. Swift has the same combined yardage total.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
We're going to lock this in as our expanded core here. If you use, I have a boost in mind that gets this up to close to 20x.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Just did the same. 50 for 974.
All right. We are calling this the expanded core.
Go ahead, drop that in the chat there.
Thanks.
Yep. And let's build a game one. Which one should we do? We mentioned those 3 divisional games. I think we should pick one of those and mess around with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
let's both like the NFC one, right?
Yeah, let's look at what Atlanta looks like first.
Okay.
The
you need to go Falcons.
Yeah, classic, John. Hey, at least I'm typing today.
You are.
You know what's crazy here, guys, is that I think it was in Jack Miller's stats stuff on the ETR article that Kyle Pitts hasn't gone more than 3 receptions since week 13 of last year or something.
Down bad.
Please don't talk about my Dawg Bowl pick like that.
Yeah, I was about to say it when you had. I think that was the stat. I mean, it's been a really long time since he's had 3 catches.
That's bad.
Crazy.
Let's talk about his ADOT and Kirk Cousins really loving these splash zone plays. How about we shift the narrative there?
Nice.
Yeah. So the one I do really like so London 5.5 receptions, 1.1x. He's been at 6 the past 2 weeks. Insane target share. I also think you could play it. We don't have fantasy points. He has a 60% in zone share as well. So I think stuff with touchdowns is nice with him. But I like Drake London stuff.
I like getting the 1.1x on receptions. He has a really strong first read target share as well. I think if this game's going to do what we want it to do, this is step 1, right? He's catching more than 5.5 passes.
Yeah, I guess the only fear is Lattimore. I guess that would be the only thing, but I'm not.
They use him so much over the middle though too, where they kind of move him around. He's definitely more Keenan Allen than he is Mike Evans, in his role.
Yeah.
Where it's not like he has to just win on the outside.
Good comparison.
One thing I just noticed is there's nothing for Derek Carr. So
really.
Yeah, I only see 2 things. I don't know if you see something different.
Let's see. I'll see what we got.
The Cousins pass yards look.
Yeah, Derek Carr they don't know what to do with him. That's even Underdog is this game might be fucking crazy. We don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. Okay.
I don't mind the Cousins. Like, doesn't that number seem a little light? 215. I know he hasn't been lighting it up, but like he's cleared that in 2 games in rougher spots at Philly and then versus KC.
Yep.
I can get on board with that. I think that's another crucial part of the thesis is he's getting more than 215 passing yards, almost certainly.
Demario Davis ruled out. That's bodes well for Pitts too.
Mm.
There you go.
He's back, baby.
He's back.
You guys have anything else in this?
Olave.
Like?
I think I'd like to do Olave. I think he's going to be a crucial part of this. We know he is still the man, and oh boy. Might need to let me see.
He's trying to shut us down as we.
He gave us one birthday gift. I don't have any of that
for this game.
I've got fantasy points on mobile. Maybe it'll show up here.
You got fantasy points on mobile
for 12.
There you go. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Give it the old off and then on again, and we're set.
Yeah. You guys okay with 12 fantasy points, or would you rather do? Okay.
I mean, he is allergic to the end zone. Your words,
if
not
that's
mine.
If it's a factor, we can do.
Can we take a look at Shaheed? He's another guy. I think like
he's definitely one that we're going to want to play.
If you're talking about speeding up the game, getting it nutty, I mean, he's our true poster boy here.
There you go. There's all the car stuff now.
Okay, car just repopulated.
Let's pick our favorite Shaheed one and our favorite car one and put it together and see what it gets
I think my favorite Shaheed is just the fantasy points.
Okay.
What do you think?
No, I agree. I think fantasy points is like, I think that makes sense. John, what was your read on Shaheed?
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you had something different. Yeah.
And then
let's just.
Do you want to toss in
shit, man.
a running back play?
Underhill just said Chris Olave got injured. That's not a joke in the chat. I mean,
wow. Yeah.
Rabana is obviously speaking.
Okay, let's get this one out of here, and we'll leave Shaheed in. Should we slam in Derek Carr at 214?
Yep.
And then who's the biggest beneficiary if Olave's?
Holy crap.
Yardage just came down.
I'm scared, guys.
Kamara is.
Yeah.
Do we have receptions on Kamara that looks good?
Is it like 3.5 or 4.5 with Spice?
No, they don't give us combined yards either. No combined and no.
Do you want to just play fantasy points on him? Just pivot the Olave fantasy points to Kamara fantasy?
Yeah. Okay. Dump off C-zone.
And then if you use the boost, you can get it up to like near 17%.
Let's do it.
Ooh. Yeah, that Olave thing stinks because I was liking him. I mean, a Friday injury is that sucks, man. Ugh.
Yeah, this has been
6th round Taysom in the Dawg Bowl.
I gotta throw the freaking ears back on.
All right, so we got our New Orleans Atlanta barn burner pick 'em here, and saved by the bell of thank you for the Olave.
Thank you, chat.
Yeah, I got my phone on D&D so you don't hear the vibrate. I saw the message and I needed to fact check it, and the fact it came from Underhill too. That's all the Saints reporters do great work, but
Taysom only in the first quarter, 6.75.
Come on,
that's
first
nuts.
quarter only.
First quarter only. That's crazy.
Come on, man,
dude. He's an absolute stone cold lock to score this week if that's the number.
Are we doing Penta Spice or what?
It's time to get it's time to spice it up here. This is spices only. Obviously, kind of lean toward TDs, but anything with a good spice is in play.
Well, I
like what John's pulled up. Man, Zach Moss only 1.07.
That's for the combined. If you go just rushing, is it worth that?
Let's see here. Let me look at the box score. Yeah, he hasn't made it to the end zone yet in the air. You got to check the box score. The box score will tell you the future.
That's our research. Wow, Kyle Pitts 1.83. I was hoping we were going to get a nice little spicy margs on Pitts there.
Can I ask you guys, how spicy are we trying to get?
Well, Nez, I want to. Last week
rhetorical?
you had floated Godwin and Amari, and then they both didn't make the cut when they should have. So let's trust your gut here.
All right, this is like type in Cordarrelle Patterson.
Oh my god!
Come on, man. So Arthur Smith has the green light to give this dude 40% of touches, 40% of snaps in the backfield.
2.07.
Oh, 2.07.
That's
I need like 2.5.
Needed like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I need like. I was about to say.
Well, maybe this is just a suggestion. If you guys like are looking to like, how do I get this pick'em to like 100x or 200x? First TD. Just do first TD. Get there on that.
For Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yeah, he might get a crack at the goal line.
Veto.
Yeah.
Can I use
I'm not
veto?
saying us. I'm just saying to our audience who's out there like, how do I become rich on Sunday? I need a 500x pick'em or whatever the max is. You do first TD Cordarrelle. We don't have to put it out here for the brand, but I just needed to get that out there. Sorry, we can continue.
Oh, that's so thin. I respect it.
How about this one? I'm feeling left out because I got sniped in the Dawg Bowl. What about a Michael Wilson tutty at 1.54x?
Okay.
In the game of the week.
Let me look.
I did it again. Classic. Just put in Michael and there's like 1,000.
Well, you can't type in Wilson either, dude. I mean,
yeah, that's true. All
yeah,
right,
let's see what this looks like after. Yeah, that'll help. I'm with it.
What's
another
Jamar?
one? Oh, here we go. I got it. This is our version of, you know how every week we'd look and like Trey McBride would be at like 1.6 and it'd be like, why is it so low? Brock Bowers is 1.78 with Devontae Adams ruled out.
Oh my Lord, man.
That's the one.
All right.
I knew exactly, as soon as you said Trey McBride, I knew exactly where you were going. And I was like, yeah, I'm on that. That is good.
So yeah, guys, everybody's talking about in the comments here. There's an Underdog promo that wasn't supposed to be for everybody, but now it is. For any NFL pick'em you make this weekend, they will give you 10% back in bonus cash.
Oh wow.
Pretty nice.
Where is that? Where do you activate that?
They're just gonna do it.
Oh, okay.
They're just,
Doobie's birthday. He's going full on Oprah.
I think it was a Gator thing. Gator made an oopsie and accidentally. So some quick details on the offer. There is some fine print here. Only NFL pick'em entries between now and the 30th. Bonus entries will be paid out, or bonus cash will be paid out within 48 hours. I would guess, I don't know for certain, I would guess that these boosts that we're using are going to not count toward that bonus cash. I don't know that for certain, but just an FYI, if you're sending out pick'ems without any without any bonuses attached to them, 10% back. Pretty nice.
There you go. So we got Wilson, we got Bowers. We're still hunting around here. This one, it looks like, is at an 8.22x. What did you toss in there, John? Chase?
6.5 receptions, Chase.
You don't
like that more than the TD?
For the spicy, man.
For the price, yeah.
Well, okay, so he's one. What's his 1.1 for a tutty?
Yeah.
Trying to find T Higgins and it's Elijah Higgins popping up first. I mean,
wow.
what happened to the game that I love?
T's 1.49.
You guys prefer the touchdown one? I'm good with either.
Let's take it one step further, folks. It's not even that much. I'm gonna say look at Yoshivas.
Oh my God.
1.7. The role is real, man. He is not leaving the field. 1.7x though. No thanks.
Yeah.
This Elijah Higgins stuff is interesting, not necessarily for this pick'em, but just in general, based on the ETR projection and based on whatever, like big body, X wide receiver, like X as in EX, like used to be wide receiver.
Yeah.
Like he's not your prototypical like tight end. It's not like they're just pulling in someone to block. I guess that's what's leading to the projection.
Yeah.
I got one.
Okay.
You guys think Jordan Love's going to play?
I think so.
Is Jaden Reed just not like a touchdown machine? 1.3 for him to score?
I know. I looked at that one. I was hoping for a little bit more, but I do like it.
Mm-hmm. That would be my contribution, I think. Or you can look at these other, Dubs runs a lot of routes. He seems to be found in the end zone quite a bit as well. But I think Jaden Reed is just going to feel like a no-brainer.
How about getting plus money on Najee?
Watch out for CPAT, but no, I agree with the Najee thesis for sure. They're definitely gonna give him a shot, right?
Michael Wilson touchdown, Brock Bowers touchdown, Jamar Chase touchdown, Jaden Reed, Najee Harris 91.33.
That feels
all right. This is what we're
fantastic.
gonna do. So we're gonna go expanded spice. This is expanded spice. We're gonna get rid of our 2 lowest confidence one and have a core spice.
Okay.
Does that
core
good?
Spice?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna drop. Which one are we dropping?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I'm already getting spooked by my Michael Wilson, so let's drop that.
Okay.
That was a tilt pick. It can't be in the modified spice core.
I think Bowers makes sense because of like the multiplier. I just think that's like a good pick to throw in.
I like the Najee one. I mean, he was in the Leone by low model. Hasn't had a rushing touchdown this year, and his usage indicates
Jalen Warren.
Yeah, let's leave him. So I like Najee. I like Bowers. We got rid of Wilson. I think we choose between Chase and Reed. Get rid of Reed?
Yeah.
So get rid of Reed, and then if you boost this,
that's still
you can
good.
get it up to like a 15x. Not bad.
That's good.
Okay. I like it.
It is. I do want to say, it is. This is kind of something like only the pros do. Most novices build the spice core and then tack on an expanded core. What you guys just saw here of going straight to the expanded core and then pulling it back for a modified hyper condensed spice core. Don't try that at home. We are true professionals here.
It does.
And it's a tightrope walk.
I would ask you guys, what proves we know ball more? Doing the expanded spice and then walking it back, or adding a lower into this? What would prove that we?
Oh my god!
It's like a random.
Is that going to be a new feature?
Cardio?
A no ball entry where we do.
Jonathan Mingo's lower.
we should actually add that. We should, because I've been thinking about a name for it too, where you call it like the haterade like entry, where it's just like all
the no
lower.
Fun pick 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good.
All right, so are we gonna sub the expanded spice for a no fun pick?
I would love to.
I think we do DeAndre Swift lowers on the rushing and receiving.
Let's just build one from scratch here. Let's just let's go DeAndre Swift lower than 47.5.
Love it.
Were you serious about Jonathan Mingo? I haven't looked at his.
Someone said it in the chat earlier, and I think it's gone now.
32.5 I have.
Oh.
Well, your Mingos. It's singular Mingo.
Did I put an S on it?
Yeah, it's like my buddy when we were in spring break in like college, we kept calling Diplo Diplos, and he got a henna tattoo that said Diplos is life on his. Anyways,
Diplos is life?
Yes, it was funny. You had to be there, I promise. All right, who else can we drink the haterade for?
Let me drink the haterade on Javonte Williams.
Oh,
nice one. Good one, Pete. Yes.
Yeah, I mean his receiving stuff has still been fine, but his rushing has been horrible. 12, 17, and 23, and this is at 27.5 rush yards at the Jets. Let's go lower.
All right.
Being in charge of the pick'em lobby right now is like
Brother Tyson Williams to find Javonte.
Williams to find Javonte.
First name Javonte. Let's Williams this and sort through an entire 20 picks. All right, so
sorry. Let's do the combined.
think
But
so?
look at his receiving usage. Like his rushing has
nice.
been awful.
Okay.
I'd rather just say he's.
And are they going to try to run the ball a lot too? Right? They're almost certainly going to lose.
Yes.
So
That's what we
I
thought
agree
last
with the
week.
thesis.
But Tyler Beatty, man, he's coming on. Former Raven.
Come on, man. It's Tyler Bidet.
Today, yeah.
That's what he says.
Does
All right, I'm with it.
all right. Who's another guy we want to hate on here?
Oh, let's keep it going.
Yeah, Mingo.
This is like
Devontae
exercise. Like, who are the
Smith.
guys that have burned you in best ball
Yeah.
that you're pissed at that you want
What's your
to
lick
get
back?
even on?
Oh, let's see here. Let me. I'm normally thinking so positive and highly here. I was gonna say
Saquon's like the
Jags.
101 of this, but I don't want to do it.
Doesn't that just feel like the biggest nerd move ever to take a lower on Saquon? What about Jordan Mason? We all kind of thought that Jordan Mason has a chance to flop.
Yeah.
He's got some frothy numbers. I think that's a pretty good
Okay.
haterade pick.
So how about we go lower on no TD for Jordan Mason? That pays 1.16.
Yes. Okay.
John,
John, you don't like it as much?
I like
John
the yardage.
loves
You kind of
Jordan
sold me
Mason.
as soon as
I
you
What do you
love
wanted
Jordan
the yardage?
Mason.
The 100.5?
Yeah, I kind of
Okay.
like the
Okay.
yardage one more.
I'm good with that.
Like, I think he could fall into the end zone even if they bottle him up, you know?
Okay. That's fair. I like both.
we ne-
So
That's 10x. We could do one more and get it to 20, I think, right?
What do we have? So we have Swift
Almost.
lower 47.5 receiving yards, Javonte lower 27.5 rushing yards, Mason line just moved on us 99.5. New me.
we're so sharp, guys. Can I give you like the biggest haterade pick of all time?
Yes.
This is you guys can say no to this. Mahomes.
Oh, I love it already.
Yeah, I like it.
Like
Which one?
multiple ways to play this, right? I mean, like the passing yards at 252 or the passing touchdowns. I think the yards is the way to go at 252.
Passing
Or even
plus
the total.
rushing, 274.5.
Yeah, let's get I mean, how much is he rushing these days? I guess he had one game
29.
with 29, 17-3. I kind of like adding the rushing in there.
Let's do both because like, is he really going to need to rush against the Chargers? You wouldn't think,
My Carson Steele thesis thinks not.
right?
How do you have 20x in yours, John? Will you read off? I feel like I'm missing a pick.
Oh,
You have Mingo.
I got
didn't have
Jonathan Mingo on the lower on the 34.5 or 32.5. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Now this gets us to the 20x haterade. I like this.
Yeah.
This is the actual spicy margs of the weekend. The fade haterade. I love this concept, guys.
This is now a new tradition.
Yeah.
With the pick'em build.
Yeah,
It's
that's fun.
cathartic. Like putting DeAndre Swift in there, like I felt so good.
This is great, but our session is up, by the way. So if you want to book for the next time, that'd be great.
Yeah,
That's a fun one. I like
Great
that.
work. Great work, guys.
Which one of those scares you the most?
Probably Mahomes, right?
honestly, Mingo's role's been pretty good.
Yeah.
It's the thing is, it's like so binary with Mingo, right? It's probably gonna be one catch and he dusts us.
Yeah. And you remove Thielen.
It probably has to be Jordan Mason is the scariest. Like that's a big number, but I mean, he could just chip away at that so quickly.
Yeah. Kobe Schwartz has been really on about this Ayuk stuff. Does he want us to take hires or lowers on Ayuk?
He's
curious.
He just getting it out there.
No, I'm just curious. Yeah.
He's a hater.
Of Ayuk?
Well,
Ayuk,
everyone's a hater when we're building out hater builds.
Yeah.
That's true.
You send us a tail. If you guys have any all lower hater builds, post them in the Discord or tag us on Twitter, and we got to start knowing ball and hating more around.
It's what the world needs. It's what the timeline needs for sure.
Easy and Kobe don't like this Ayuk stuff. I want to see what the number is now.
Okay.
I'm curious. 62.5. Gets the
that's like fine to me.
Christian Gonzalez treatment.
Yeah. I would probably, if I was playing the haterade on Ayuk, I'd probably just do fantasy points and be like, they just don't look for him in the red zone. Like, because I feel like he could still scam his way yardage wise. but I don't mind it. Let the hate flow through you as you build these lowers.
Yeah, that fantasy points lower.
Ugh.
I'm doing this one. This last one. What were some of the other ones we just did? The Javonte Williams one, I really liked that.
Yes.
Javonte Williams one. And what was one of the other ones we did? It with Mingos, we were kind of scared.
I like the Swift one.
The
Swift one felt good.
Yeah.
That offensive line is so effing bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the combined rushing and receiving, or did we do just the rushing?
We did both.
Yeah, we did both. We wanted to hate on all levels of DeAndre Swift's game, not just one particular facet.
Where's the last one?
Nez, let the people know what stuff you guys got going on the channel this week. Obviously, we're simulcasting this, so if you guys are watching on my channel, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Badge Bros and vice versa. What do you guys got on tap?
Yeah, so the Friday draftathon last week went over pretty well. So I think the return of No Strip Nez is coming back for Friday night. I
can't believe you did that. Was it just for like the bit, or why? You just
if you
always
know,
wear
man.
No Strip?
If you know, you know. Yeah, we're gonna do that again tonight, and I'm definitely like prioritizing Dawg Bowls, so I hope you guys are okay with drafting Dawg Bowls with me, but that'll be for the members only on the Badge Bros channel tonight. Noah, I see you asking for the MLB pick'em. Hit me up on Twitter, brother. I'll get you right.
Nice. There we go. Two things I'll add to that. That's obviously tonight. Evergreen reminder to everybody: if you win more than $10,000, you get a Dawg Bowl seat. Do something very good on the platform this weekend. Winner Circle with us on Monday. Open invite. You're welcome to come on the show, draft whatever with us, jam out. But we're gonna do some multi-sport stuff next week. We did the pennant yesterday with Chris, aka Baseball. I think that was kind of the definitive preview for the pennant. I thought it was a really good show. Some good meta there, and a link to his sheet in there. And then next week we are going to do our regular stuff, but we're going to double dip, or I might double dip on the Tuesday. DJ Mitchell and Matt Moody are going to come on. We're going to do the best puck stuff because puck starts next Friday, I believe. And then Mike Zakarian's going to come on Wednesday and do the double dribble with us. So we are going to be living up to the name of Multisport Draft Leads next week.
Love it. That is a loaded lineup with sport-specific guests. I got my usual stuff. The Deposit Kingdom video, I'm going to go post it right after we wrap up here. Some of the plays we already talked about, but there are a few we didn't get to in here, so you can go check that out for more kind of battle royale ideas. And then I hop into 3 drafts and talk through some small field correlation kind of ideas that I was working through in that video. So check that out. And then I'll have DFS After Dark for YouTube members on my channel is with Drew Dinkmeyer on Saturday. Always like doing an annual checkup with Dink. And then we'll have the Cram on Sunday mornings. Can't promise a nose strip. I will leave that to Nez, but a blast as always. We will be here every Friday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern, walking you through the Underdog slate. So for Nez, for John, I'm Pete. We'll see you guys next time on Off and On the Clock.